So I need to give you a little bit of a warning because here in the United States, we are anticipating a solar storm to happen tonight. So I want to break this down because a lot of people are wondering, is this something I should be concerned with? Is there something that I need to do? Or what should I watch for? Because everyone says this is going to be the greatest solar storm we have had in over 100 years. So I'll break all this down in just a moment. All I ask is one thing. Takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now let's begin. So yes, we are supposed to experience a solar storm tonight. According to multiple articles, many experts are saying this will be the greatest solar storm we have seen in over 100 years. Look at this. It says severe solar storm expected to supercharge northern lights on Friday. That is what we're about to see. It says the Space Weather Prediction Center has issued its first severe geomagnetic storm watch since 2005. Auroras might be seen as far south as Alabama. That is an incredible sight. Now, here's what I can tell you. The last severe geomagnetic storm that we saw or that we were warned about was back in 2005, so 19 years ago. Well, the greatest one we've seen was back in the 1800s, okay? And I'll address that in just a second. But why are so many people concerned with this? Okay? Why is tonight's massive solar storm, why is this a concern? And why are so many people worried about disruptions in communication and GPS systems? Well, number one, because that is what it's going to do. It will disrupt communication and GPS systems. The last time we saw, and they classified these, I think in like a 5-stage class, goes from G1 to G5. They're expecting today will be a G4 storm. So we're going to see what happens there. But I want to explain how serious this is. And so I pulled a bunch of stuff up, and I want to read you a little bit of an article from The Hill. Okay? Because look at this. It says, how serious is this event? It says, experts at the NOAA say it's probably not a big risk to Earth-based systems, but it is a rare and serious event. Like tornadoes and hurricanes, geomagnetic storms are rated on a 5-point scale, and this is supposed to be a G4 event. Now, just because it's one away from the top does not mean you need to be, locked in a basement. You need to, get rid of all communication devices, get rid of internet and all that stuff, right? You don't have to do that. I want to keep reading this. It says this is the first such severe storm and the last geomagnetic watch announced by NOAA since 2005. There have been more recent storms on the low end of the G4 schedule, including a brief, relatively weak event in 2023. But here it is. It says the NOAA scientists compared the ongoing watch alert to a tornado alert. It means grid managers should be about their business, but be alert. Now, what does this mean? What is a tornado watch? Well, a tornado watch alert is simple. Okay, when there is a tornado nearby, you'll hear a siren. That is when you want to, get in a bunker, make sure that your family's safe in case the tornado comes through and rips your house right up off the slab or whatever, right? So this is similar. They're saying that certain people need to be aware, but for the majority of people in the world, you are not going to notice any difference. There'll be no difference. Okay, I want to keep reading this. It says, for most people on Earth, they won't have to do anything. They'll be able to go about their daily lives. But for certain sectors of the economy, industry, and aviation, there's some disintegrating effort, but because they'll have to work around the particular storms. Okay, this is mostly as far as aviation. Okay, anything that uses GPS, you'll have to work around the storms. Now, let's get to the next question. What disruptions can that cause? Well, let's talk about it. It says that on Earth, these impacts are generally minimal because the Earth's magnetic field largely shields society from the onslaught of particles. But it says impacts are relatively restricted to sectors including high-frequency radio or communications from the ground to GPS or airlines. Again, from the ground to the GPS or the airlines. That's where it gets disrupted. That's why the airline industry has to be careful. Okay, I want to read this one because this is a big one. It says, but the world is increasingly dependent on electricity, which is to say on electromagnetic waves of the sort disrupted by a geomagnetic storm. It's also increasingly encircled with bands of metal, transmission lines, railroad tracks, or even pipelines that can be turned into electromagnetics by the geomagnetic storm. That's the worry, okay? Now, I'll tell you right now, personally, I am not too worried about this. I don't think this is going to be what some say is the end of the world, okay? So just understand, yes, you need to know that these massive solar storms are coming tonight, but it does not mean we are going to see any, noticeable difference, okay? Now, I do want to explain one other thing, though, because this could get bad. The last time there was a geomagnetic storm that was worse than what is predicted for tonight was back in 1859. Okay, it was called the 1859 Carrington event. Now, this geomagnetic storm was a G5, and this one caused sparks to fly from doorknobs. Okay, sparks were flying from doorknobs, blocked telegraph wires, and caused auroras to be visible as far south as the Caribbean. That is what we're hearing. Now, I don't anticipate we're going to see anything like that tonight. I don't expect we're going to see anything like that, anytime soon. But just understand that this is something that a lot of people are wondering: how bad could it get? How big will it be? And will we be able to see the auroras? Well, there's a good chance. The one thing that I can tell you, though, is, like always, just be prepared. Just know what's going on. Just understand that all those people out there saying that this could be it, make sure you pack your bags, get your go bag ready, get your weapons and your food and your family, your loved ones, get them all ready, because you may have to head to the hills. All those people that are saying that, which there are a bunch, well, they could be right. I'm not saying they're completely out of this world, but according to many experts, nothing's really going to happen tonight. So just understand, yes, you may see the auroras, there will be a massive solar storm, but outside of that, everything here on Earth will likely still be the same tomorrow when you wake up. So I will leave you with that. If you have any questions whatsoever, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. But as of today, that is what we know. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.